We're going live.
Okay, I think we're live now. Oh.
Are we?
Fab. We are live. Okay, welcome everyone to our first Q&A in a series of Q&As, excuse me, slip of the tongue. So the whole point of this is to make sure that our viewers and everyone who's engaged with Quarantine Opera, or maybe not so, is able to kind of get to know us better as a team, what we do, and yeah. So today we're going to be talking to our co-founders, Marika Schultze, who's our CEO, who is currently based in Norway. That's right.
Yes.
Fab. And our conductor extraordinaire, Fergus McAlpine, who you've been seeing together with Marika at the beginning of each of our play-in videos. How are you doing, Fergus?
Yeah, very well, thank you.
Excellent. Yeah. So you're in Amsterdam. How's Amsterdam?
It's kind of crazy because I spent almost like the whole of lockdown since March back home in the UK, and it's so different to because I came back here a few weeks ago, and it's so different to see like how different the two countries are from each other. So yeah, I think I've just about adjusted to life here, and I mean like people are still careful and keeping their distance and wearing masks on transport and everything, but still it's kind of crazy, the difference, that's for sure.
Well, yeah, I'm sure we'll be seeing a lot of difference in the months and possibly the years to come as well. And Marika, how are you? How are you doing?
Well,
how's Norway?
I'm good. Norway has a strange weather today, and at least where I am. But I've been indoors, except for a little jog in the morning, and yeah, otherwise it's been a cool day. I've been working a bit with editing some videos for our upcoming production. Ooh, and that's been so fun.
Fantastic. Yeah, well, more about our upcoming production later, I hope. And just to mention that if we have any technical issues with the question and answer session, then just bear with us and we'll fix it as soon as we can. This is a very, very kind of new thing that we're trying out. So yeah, please do bear with us. But that shouldn't discourage you from typing any comments or questions that you have in the chat. Please keep them coming through. We'd love to hear from you. So just keep any questions coming. Great. So I think we can actually move on to our first question, which we received a couple of days ago from Maria Steinsvik. And Maria is part of our QO community, our Quarantine Opera musicians community. And so, Marika, this is probably a question for you. What's your vision for Quarantine Opera? And perhaps you could tell us a little bit about how it began as well.
Okay, I'll start with how it began, because the vision obviously came from that.
Of course.
So when everything came to a lockdown here in Norway, and obviously over the whole world, things changed so much. And for a person like me, that's a very exciting situation. And there are completely other other things to be found, other opportunities. It's not that everything is just going worse. There are things that are, better. And for one thing that was obvious to me is that, wow, there are a lot of musicians all over the world that are available if we just can only make some kind of collaboration. If we can come together digitally. And it's also, so it's, my vision was to create something new when everything changed, and to connect people wherever in the world they are. Because a lot of, in these crises, it's so, like in crisis times, the borders are locking down and every country is seeing to their own interests, trying to fix their own situation. And I think it's so important to that we can also reach out across the borders in this way, because we are in such a unique situation where the world, like all over the world, is in such a similar situation, and that's like has never happened before. So so it's very cool to see what we have in common, and that music is such a universal language that we can really connect through this, and that we can create something new and inspire other people to create something new, and also reaching out for people who are in quarantine, who are locked in, and they need something to light up their time there. So it's both for the sake of the viewers and listeners and for the musicians. And our vision is like to build this kind of network, to both build a community around opera in a digital way, and for us to have an alternative of reaching out internationally, even though there might be restrictions of travels, which might be even after Corona pandemic is over. We have a climate crisis as well. So restrictions on flights is something that we see as a very possible future. And therefore, we should also try to continue and work together in other ways. And what we are also working with is to find a new audience for opera.
Yeah.
So we want to be some kind of opera ambassadors and bring people into who has never been to an opera house or never put on a full opera on Spotify. Where for all of those who thinks that opera is something for a specific kind of people, to open it up and realize that there is something which is also for instance, for young people, for children. There are children operas as well, and make people discover this amazing world that we are part of. And hopefully that will also awaken interest for them to then also go to the opera houses when they open eventually, we hope.
Yeah, and I think that was very, very well put. I couldn't have put it better myself. I think you're absolutely right. Now more than ever, we need this idea of connection. We need to keep our networks, especially during the pandemic, but even afterwards. We want to make sure that kind of opera can be accessible to everyone wherever they are. And I think, yeah, quarantine opera is one of the very few platforms which can actually provide that. Fantastic. Well, we've been getting some comments here so there's Martin. Sorry, Martin, I forgot to mention, yes, I'm streaming from London, UK. It's been raining here for the last 20 minutes or so it's been a bit bleak. But yes, I'm in my living room. And yeah, I've just been doing a bit of work this morning. Nothing too fancy. Oh, wow, the rain's really started. Okay, so let's move on to our next question. So building on that idea of kind of connections and making music and whatnot, Fergus, can you tell me how you've actually decided the repertoire, which we've released so far, and our upcoming repertoire, that is, when we've been making our videos?
Well, I mean, coming up with repertoire is it's a very delicate process, actually, because there are many different people that you have to bear in mind. And it's like when you're a startup company, there's an element of what is joyful, what is familiar to an audience, like what will people know and what will people kind of relate to when they see something totally new. And so yeah, and as Marika said, I mean, like, everyone in the musical world has sort of found themselves without performances. So we want to include like as many people as possible in each of these things. So, and that could be whether you play any instrument in the orchestra, or whether you are any soloist voice type, or whether you are a like choir singer or whatever. We want to include numbers which have all of these key elements. And so I think what's really special about the way we've constructed these first three pieces is that, yes, there's more of an emphasis on a certain voice type as a soloist, but we have kind of spread out all of those types over the first three pieces. So, the first piece, which was Carmen, I mean, that's more kind of a mezzo thing. Then Violetta Alfredo, and the next thing, our Brindisi, that was much more soprano and tenor. And then through the Escamillo aria, you've got the baritone. So there's a nice kind of spread between everyone. Our next piece, I cannot tell you what it is yet. Spoiler alert. But having said that, we have chosen something which does spread over absolutely everything in one go. So we are really excited to share that out. So it's kind of like, it's firstly what is good for like everyone to sing and what is good for everyone to play, but also what kind of projects the feeling of the world that we want to live in once the whole coronavirus pandemic is over. And so it's kind of like a celebration of, we know that every concert is cancelled or, things are just starting up again. But, we want to celebrate the fact that we can still perform and that we can still make music together with musicians from all around the world. And I think that idea of kind of celebrating the work that we do is, I think that's absolutely key to the music that we do, because what music you do also projects what kind of feelings you want to portray, and that's paramount in the work that we do.
Well, so, absolutely, yeah.
And I've just seen we've got a comment.
Yes, yeah,
well, I mean, we have chosen one or two really good bassoon parts, I have to say. So thank you. Yeah, I mean, I'm a bassoonist myself, and and sometimes I even join in on the project as a bassoonist as well as a conductor, which I have to admit, that's a strange experience to be conducted by yourself. But in the past, it's kind of like time travel. But I mean, well, we're in it for absolutely everyone. So yeah,
definitely.
In a sense, yes, but in a sense, no.
You're absolutely right. I think that that idea of just trying to kind of communicate to the masses is such an amazing thing, especially during this time. And we need to keep doing that. And Marika's vision will definitely make sure that happens. So just before I ask my next question, I just want to say thank you for all the lovely comments so far from Carol, from Minalina, from Rush as well. Rush is my brother, so it's good to see that he's watching along. Christian as well. Thank you very much. Thank you. It means a lot, and we want to make sure that our community of musicians and our network can grow as much as possible, as Marika mentioned. So this by watching this, you're already supporting us in everything that we do. So thank you. Fergus, I didn't quite get to ask. So far we've been watching arias and we've been watching kind of small numbers. One of our questions is from Tina Risteska, and she asks, how do you choose the repertoire? Oh, no, sorry. Wrong question. I've already asked that.
Smooth.
And sorry. One of the other questions is from Maria, who we heard from earlier. And she asks, are you planning to create a whole opera?
I mean, that would be a really, really lovely thing to do. That's for sure. I mean, if it were down to me, I would be more than happy to create an entire opera. But having said that, it's so much work to even put a small number together, and especially with the amount of musicians that we have. So I mean, if we do put on a whole opera, it will probably come out about this time next year, if that. So I mean, it has been down on the cards. That's for sure. Like, we have been discussing it. I mean, doing something short, like like Gianni Schicchi or I Pagliacci or something like that. It would be a really, really fun project to do. But if we do that, then of course, do forgive us if it takes quite a long time to put together. There are shorter things like A Hand Bridge by Barber. which could work, that's for sure. But yeah, we do need the partner as well. So yeah, there are little questions which come in, like whatever, like whatever kind of direction you want to go in. But it is something that we have been considering, and honestly, because I mean now we've done 2 very famous numbers from Carmen. At the rate that we're going, we might as well just finish the rest of the opera. Because the music is just so wonderful. It's so beautifully orchestrated, and it's so wonderfully written for the voice as well. And
it's my favorite opera.
It's wonderful. It was the opera which I was assisting the Irish National Opera when the country went into lockdown. So that was until only a couple of weeks ago, the last piece that I sort of conducted with actual people. So yeah. Yes.
Yeah, speaking of which, I was also just going to be assisting at the Opera House in Norway, here in Oslo, for assisting the stage director's assistant in Carmen as well. So it's a very yeah, we both had that going on.
Yes, well, Carmen is just the best, isn't it? Yeah. Bizet really was the master, and yeah, I'm sure we'll be seeing more from him in the months and possibly years to come.
There's one
through Quarantine Opera.
Yes. May I add one other thing onto your question?
Please do.
One thing which totally slipped my mind is that we've had 1 or 2 composers come forward wishing to write kind of quarantine, short compositions for us, which that's actually something that we are really considering putting together in the very near future. And so this is also a call to composers. Then please, if you want to get in touch, and please get in touch with us, and we can see what we can do in putting together a sort of quarantine opera from different areas of the world,
Well, absolutely, and that totally. I forgot that as well. We've had so many composers kind of reaching out to us and offering us their music, and it's been a real pleasure. And yeah, I'm quite excited as well as a composer myself, and I've just had a look in the comments, and my friend Helena has recommended that perhaps Quarantine Opera could put on our chamber opera Adrift. She was my librettist. So I'll definitely be running that past Marika or Fergus in the near future.
Is that your opera?
Yes, you did. I wrote a chamber opera a few months ago together with Helena, and yeah, that would be a fun thing to do indeed. Yeah, well, fantastic. So we've kind of done all of our questions which were kind of sent through. Now I'd like to move on to the last bit of the Q&A. And so this is slightly different. I'm going to call it our quick fire questions Q&A. So that's our QQ, Q&A. Yeah, I think that's right. QO, Q&A. Yeah, well, why not? So, tell me, Marika and then Fergus, or either one of you, it has to be kind of no more than 5 words. And I'm just going to do kind of quick-fire, rapid questions. So, if you could be any flavor of ice cream, what ice cream flavor would you be, and why? Go.
I hate those questions.
Got to answer them.
The kind of flavor which has so many flavors in them.
That's more than 5.
In Sweden, you would call them tutti frutti or something. Where you have
tutti frutti, why not?
Yeah.
Fergus?
In no more than 5 words. Mint choc chip, because delicious. That's really hard. I don't know. It's my favorite, I suppose. I know like orange ice cream is a thing. I know that's a hit of the ginger thing, but
hey, 5 words it was. 5 words, remember?
Hey, you said more than 5 as well. Thank you very much.
Yeah, cool. So we've had tutti frutti and mint choc chip because delicious. Fab. So what other skills, what new things have you been doing in quarantine? Maybe a language, maybe a new hobby, a new kind of a new skill. What have either of you picked up?
I'll let
Me?
you start.
No,
Yeah?
you should say who answers. I can say
Oh, okay.
video editing.
Marika? Video editing. Okay.
Right.
Fab. Fergus?
Well, sort of quarantine music, Ashtanga yoga, and baking, actually.
Yes, I have to say that I'm guilty of baking as well. It's just I've been doing a bit of banana bread recently. It's been
Nice.
quite.
Likewise,
Yeah.
we should share recipes.
Oh, we should definitely. Yeah, we'll message later about it.
Definitely. Or
Fab.
check out my Insta. Actually, there's a post on there which has a banana bread on there. So just in
Fantastic. So head over to Fergus's Insta page. I think that's the Insta stories part of our QO.
Yeah.
Is it, or is it your? Yeah.
No, on my personal page.
On your personal page.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Mac.
So fab. If you want to have a great banana bread recipe, then head over there.
Yeah.
Okay, Marika, favorite book growing up? Go.
What's it in English? The Solitaire Mystery.
Okay, what's the Solitaire Mystery?
Solitaire Mystery by the Norwegian author Jostein Gaarder. It's amazing. Check it out.
Okay, so we have Solitaire Mystery. Fergus.
The Twits by Roald Dahl, definitely. That was a favorite, not just for me, but like all of my family growing up. And it's, if you don't know it, then check it out. It's such a classic, and it will still make you giggle 20 years later.
Another one, of course, Harry Potter.
Oh, Harry Potter.
And I was always in the same kind of age that he was every time they released a new book. Perfect for me.
Ooh, but here's the question. Were the books better or were the films better?
The books, of course. The books are so much better. Wow.
Have you seen the first two films recently? They're hilarious. In which they're such classic and they're such like sweet, heartwarming films. But my God, they're not really that great.
I read the first books 7 times each, so I was not really. The film was not like the film I had seen in my head.
Yeah, that kind of makes sense. I mean, truth be told, I'm not exactly a Harry Potter fan, but yes, I completely get the craze, and I know what I'm missing out on. So yeah, I personally think the film's better. But fab. This is probably something for you, Fergus, a little bit more than Marika. What's an advantage of being really tall? Because I recently found out that you're kind of 6'1".
No, 6'3". Yeah.
6'3". Okay, sorry.
Well, to be honest, I mean, you can reach really tall things from a shelf, but apart from that, I mean, like, and also like if you're walking through a crowd, then it's more likely that you can see over the top of people's heads, so you can kind of navigate yourself. But apart from that, it's actually slightly annoying because like if I want to do yoga in my flat, I've got a really low ceiling, so I can't like stretch my arms up. And then half of the hotel showers that I go into, I am too tall for. So it's it's a blessing and a curse, I think.
It's very funny with height because no one, like most in the quarantine team, as we say it, we haven't met each other from before. So me and Fergus, we have met before, and he also used to joke about me being very short, saying that he wanted to put me in his pocket. Very nice. Anyways, so but then when I have actually met in real life some of my team, like my producer and my COO, and it has been very interesting to like, oh, you're that height. For instance, even though I'm a very short person, my producer turned out to be even shorter. And when we first met, we were just pointing at each other. You're short. No, I thought you were much bigger. So yeah.
It's quite amazing that, I mean, through this whole process, I mean, firstly through our team, but also through loads of our musicians, it's amazing how we've kind of cultivated these like seemingly close relationships. I don't want to say it's kind of Black Mirror-esque, but it's a very weird kind of relationship in which you feel so close to people, and then if you meet anyone in the flesh straight afterwards, then it's kind of that kind of brings a new sort of confusion actually when you actually bump into someone. So it's really quite funny like that. At the same time, you kind of see someone for the first time, but you think that you've actually got to know them really well, because I mean, you kind of feel as if you've been friends forever, really.
We've become such good friends. We've really become such good friends in the team, and that has been amazing. For a lot of people, the quarantine time has been very lonely, and we have been very blessed to have the opposite. For me, I have felt, I don't know when I felt this unlonely as I have been during this time. And it's been amazing to have this project going on.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you're quite right, and it is a real problem. The kind of the loneliness aspect of the pandemic. But yeah, like as you said, we are really blessed, and it's been fantastic. I mean, I should mention that I joined was it, I think maybe a month after the first kind of call for
something
videos.
Like that,
something like that.
We got to know you through our first performance. I mean, we hadn't encountered you before, and you sent us a message saying, if there's any way in which like I can help out, then please, I'd love to be a part of it. And lo and behold, look what's happened. So,
well, yeah, look what's happened. I'm hosting a Q&A from my living room in London. It's the dream. It really is. So it has really been fantastic getting to know everyone, and I'm sure once all of this is over, lockdown and wherever we are in the world, the whole team will meet up somewhere, mutually convenient, that is. But yeah, so Fergus, you mentioned Black Mirror. Yeah, I know, you know where this is going. What is your Netflix guilty pleasure?
Oh, now that's a really tough one, actually.
Don't answer.
Well, I've got to be truthful here. I have to be honest. To be honest, well, I've got into two shows recently. Like one was earlier in lockdown, which was what was it called? Too Hot to Handle. I don't know. Just it was a nice bit of reality TV to have like in little intervals when work was piling up. So that was nice. And then on the other hand, recently I've got into tidying up with Marie Kondo, which I have to admit has completely changed my life. So if you haven't seen the latter, then do.
What was that, tidying up with Marie Kondo?
Marie Kondo, yeah. It will spark much joy. And I fold my clothes differently now. It's crazy.
Wow, so this Marie Kondo must really be a wizard of sorts then. Fantastic. I've made a note of that. I'll investigate that. Marika, your turn.
The same question?
Netflix guilty pleasure? Yes, what's your Netflix guilty pleasure?
What makes you think I have Netflix? I don't have the time for that.
Okay. Oh, well, yeah, it's each to their own, I guess.
But there is one, I'm watching one series, it's not on Netflix, it's on the Norwegian national, channel?
NRK.
NRK, watching Le Bureau. And of course, I've had during the quarantine, I've rewatched the whole series of Skam. Very, very good Norwegian series.
Oh my God, I know Nora from Scum. Yeah, she was a friend of mine from my bachelor's, yeah.
Maybe Nora's watching.
Yes, maybe she is.
Yeah.
We're coming going, what? Yeah, it's been
Well, well, actually, we've just received a comment from Sarah Carlin. She says, OMG, Marika, you need to watch Grace and Frankie and Schitt's Creek. Schitt's being spelled SCHITTS.
Thank
You
you.
did promise no profanity here.
Yeah, we did.
Actually, apparently it's really funny. I haven't actually taken the time to watch it yet. But no, I've been nagged by my girlfriend on many occasions to start it. So
cool.
Yeah. Well, excellent. So I think we don't seem to be having any more questions coming in from anyone.
There was one.
Oh, was there?
Yeah, in the posting of this that we wrote on Facebook, there was one question which I feel obliged to answer, and that was why am I always wearing the pajamas?
Oh yes.
Oh yes.
And then I felt like I would be a bit rebel today and not wear it, but that's a lie because actually I am wearing it. That's
oh my goodness.
Quarantine style for many people. Nice upwards, but then quarantine casual below. And
very well phrased there, I have to be honest.
I believe a lot of you guys, people out there, are guilty of that. It is true. I was actually for the first few weeks of quarantine, I was constantly wearing my pajamas, and I really like it. It's a beautiful pajamas, and it's kind of. I wanted to emphasize that people should not try to, maybe for our productions, we actually want to see people in their quarantine situation, and. We have received some people who are dressing up or something, and that is also really nice. But we also do appreciate when people are just showing the way they are, very unpolished. And that's why we came up with the quarantine casual.
The hashtag.
Hashtag, yeah.
Yes, hashtag.
But we are not the only ones who have come up with quarantine casual. I've seen on Instagram that there are a lot of others as well.
Oh, well, yeah. But yeah, no. And can we expect to see any more of the pajama action in our future videos? No.
Of course. I'd love to.
Oh, just the way that sounds.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, I was thinking like there would probably be will probably be misunderstandings of any kind.
Are we going to see you wear something else, Amrat?
Yes, Amrat just asked.
I am wearing something else, am I not? Look.
Well, sort of.
I am, yeah. I've been wearing other things, hats and Joker hats and flowers and stuff. Just have a look at our videos and you'll see a lot of clothes.
What other projects do you guys have on hold? Martin?
Yes, Martin. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I'm taking your,
oh, no, that's
your bit away. Martin, unfortunately, we don't want to kind of share too many secrets at the moment. Sorry to disappoint you. Although what we will say is that our next project after the Toreador will be announced very, very soon. So do stay tuned.
But maybe he was asking like what are other projects besides Quarantine Opera, if we have anything.
Oh,
because
is that what you mean? Maybe, yeah. Maybe.
Could be interpreted that way.
Let's answer it as if it
yeah.
were that, I guess. So what other projects do we have?
Well, I have a few. I will, for instance, work with a circus group called Acting for Climate, and we will have a tour and do a collaboration, like kind of opera circus show, which we have done before as well. And besides that, I will also study conducting part-time at the Music Academy in Norway. And a little bit of this and that. Some concerts as well coming up, hopefully. Much have been cancelled, of course, but things are opening up here in Norway. So hopefully there will be more of that.
Excellent, yeah. And Fergus, so what kind of individual projects have you been doing on the side?
Well, on the side, it's really, it's just like getting my life like all straightened out and in order, because I graduated from my master's last week, and so now I'm like a free man. But of course, everything which I was meant to do has either been cancelled or postponed. So I was meant to make my debut with North Netherlands Orchestra, which has now been moved to November. Very, very luckily. And now I've got another concert in September, which I can't really announce that yet because it hasn't been publicly announced. But still, things are starting to kind of reorganize themselves again. But I was going to work with the orchestra of the 18th century here in the Netherlands on a St. Matthew Passion as an assistant conductor, also assisting the Volksoper Wien in their production of Boris Godunov as well, which has now been changed to La Forza del Destino as well. But I don't know if I'm going to be joining on that project. So we'll have to see how that goes. Karen, thank you so much.
We have actually a fun fact when it comes to the Forza del Destino.
Fergus.
Oh, yes.
In order to get into this conducting class in the Music Academy, I asked Fergus to give me a lesson in conducting, and it was the overture of that opera that I was going to conduct. So we worked on that one, and it was really nice.
It's a fun piece to conduct. It's a really, really fun piece.
Mm.
Yeah, well, I think Verdi was also one of the masters along with Bizet, wasn't he? So there's no surprises there. Excellent. Well, keep the questions coming in. We'll see if we can kind of get through to all of them. I'm just gonna probably go through our rapid quick fire questions again, maybe a few others. So favorite color, Marika?
Green or red.
Ooh. Oh, is it red because of the hair?
Or the hair because of the red? I don't know.
Controversial. But what makes you pick green?
I just love nature. It has always been very close to my heart. It just gives me the feeling of nature and of oxygen, breathing nice fresh air, and I love being out in the woods. Suddenly things became a bit green over here. And also I really like that red hair and green clothes. They are a good match.
Oh, sorry, we've just had a question from Amarat in the comments. When will Toreador come out? Can't wait, hope to be able to join next time.
Very soon.
Very soon.
Yeah, very soon. We hope so. We'll make an event for the premiere, and that will be coming out in the next couple of days or so. So, don't worry. You don't have to be too patient on that one. It's all I want.
Excellent. Okay. Oh, Fergus, I didn't get to ask you. What's your favorite color and why?
Favorite color? Ooh. I'd say either. Well, no, actually, no. It's dark green. I don't know what it is about it. It's just a color which is awesome. Really. I mean, like either. But I mean, those kind of evergreen tree kind of like forests that you see, sort of like. Spanning over like huge areas. Yeah, I don't know. There's just something so satisfying about that color. It's I don't know. Maybe that's a thing which I just loved from my time in Norway when traveling through the country, because you see these landscapes all over the top. But yeah, it's great.
Yeah, and we've just had a question from Rush, and he's asked if we'll live stream on YouTube. Yes, that's right. We will live stream on YouTube, and I believe that will be once our Facebook live stream is over. It will go straight onto our YouTube channel, so you can watch it there afterwards. And yeah, we'll be posting to YouTube. I should just say a quick thank you to the man who's actually behind the scenes on this live stream, Teo Noguera. Who's actually kind of organized all of this and kind of arranged it such that we can kind of be here and do it in this kind of format. So I just wanted to say a quick thank you to him, and he's kind of just pointing us in the right direction during this Q&A. So thank you, Taylor. Okay,
making us green whenever we say that it's our favorite color.
Yeah, that's his most important job, making us change color.
Sound effect.
Oh yes, the sound effects. Yeah, hopefully those will come.
Taylor, don't get tempted.
Okay, so we've just had a question from Manisha, and Manisha's actually my mom, so it's good to see that my whole family is watching this at the moment. So Manisha's asking, how do your families feel about quarantine opera? I'm not sure what she means by that. I guess. Are they upset? Are they delighted? Are they confused? Marika, do you want to take that? Oh, yeah. Tell us about how your family felt about quarantine opera.
They are really proud. They are. I mean, we watched the premiere together, and we were sitting with bubbly and champagne and just like, oh, now it's on the premiere, and they have been supporting this all the way, and it's been lovely to have their support.
Definitely, yeah. And Fergus, I'm sure it's much the same.
Yeah, very much the same. I mean, I was with my family when all of this was starting up, and I mean, they've been hugely proud and supportive, and I mean, they are they're great fans of the whole company, so that's great. Yeah, it's only a good thing. What about you, Vivek?
Yeah, well, you can tell that my family are somewhat proud because they're all kind of just hunched over their phones or their laptops watching this live stream. So it's great to see that, and it's the amount of support I've had from my family during my time at Quarantine Opera has been great. And I look forward to a lot more, to say the least. Great. Let's keep going with these quick fire questions because let's go to this one. So
how many are there?
Well, there are as many as I say they are.
I thought there were 5 of them.
It's kind of turned into an infinite.
Yes, they are, Karen. Thank you. Yes, they are.
Well, you say our own families are, but I think, as we said earlier, Quarantine Opera itself is a family. We've been working together very well, and even though we haven't actually been able to interact with each other kind of face to face, kind of in person, it's been great. The amount of support that I've had, the amount of support that we've had together virtually. So yeah, it's very much a family in its own right. Marika, what would your desert island disc be?
What?
So if you had to pick one thing, I should have clarified that. A desert island disc is picking one thing to take with you onto a deserted island, say. And let me make it a little bit trickier. Let's say you can't take a musical score or anything related to music.
It's a bit troubled. I would need 2 things because one would be useless. I would need my diary, a diary, and a pen.
Oh, that's beautiful. Yeah.
So that I can both write and I draw quite a lot as well. And for me, it's just one of the things that I need very much to write and write and write all the time.
Yeah, definitely. Hopefully we'll be seeing some of your artwork soon, I hope. Just reveal that you're an artist.
Well, I was just looking in my score notebook here to see if I have anything to share, but yeah, not really this time. Maybe next time.
Yes, maybe next time then.
Because the problem is that I draw in the same space that I'm writing important stuff. So if I would, for instance, I have a really nice picture here, but I have written a password just next to it, so the whole internet would see it. Yeah.
Oh, and so we've just had a comment from, we've actually had a couple of comments now. So Karen says that diaries are therapeutic, and I'm sure, Marika, you'd agree.
Oh, yeah.
Specifically for just the writing and that kind of just the action of pen to
I started to write diary like 1.5 years ago, and it was called Turbo Diary. So you write 10 minutes just before you sleep and 10 minutes when you wake up in the morning. Not longer, just keep the 10 minutes. And if you don't know what to write, you just write, I don't know what to write. And then you continue. You have to keep the pen going. And it kind of, it really made a huge change for me in my life to have that going on. And now I can't go anywhere without having something to write on if I need it.
That's excellent, yeah. We've had an interesting comment from Abby Wolf. She says, pizza in an oven so I can make more. No music, sheesh, meanie. Well, I've never been called a meanie, so that's definitely a first.
Well, to be honest, that's exactly how I'm thinking for this whole situation. I'm like, yes, I could take my Wagner ring cycle scores along, or whatever, or my piano, or my bassoon. Although my bassoon would be useless without the reed, so it's like the diary and the pen, I suppose.
Oh yes, yeah, absolutely.
I would create my own music. I would sing to the air and to the woods. To this.
Yeah. Okay, so what would your desert island disc be then? You're kind of trying to get to an answer.
I'm trying to think. I mean, like, really, I'm just looking around my flat for kind of inspiration, to be honest. I don't know. Am I allowed to say a puppy that doesn't age? To have
absolutely.
That constant optimistic, company, I suppose. That's I suppose like that's what I would love if I were trapped on a desert island. Something always to keep me happy. But yeah.
Yeah, well, definitely we definitely need some joy and happiness to keep us going.
Well, definitely. Well, that's basically what I had like through lockdown. I mean, we have 2 dogs at home, and one, bless him, he's this ginormous Labrador puppy. He's 2, but I mean, I don't think he's really grown mentally at all. But yeah, he's sweet. He's sweet at heart. So, yeah,
excellent. And I think maybe this will be our one of our final questions before we wrap up for today's Q&A session. And so this is from Karen. Marika, who is your favorite American movie star?
Oof. Oh, that's so difficult. Oh my God, I don't know where to start. There are so many great ones. And right now I'm watching French French TV series. So I can't answer. I really got like I went blank. I'll come back to it. Fergus, answer first, and I'll.
Okay, Fergus, you first then.
Oh man, the thing is that like now all like American movie stars have just escaped my mind. I'll tell you one thing I watched the other day, and I think he's definitely up there, like just for kind of the things that he does. But I was watching Eurovision the other day. Eurovision, the story of Fire Saga, and it was Will Ferrell pretending to be, and Rachel McAdams pretending to be an Icelandic pop duo, and it's quite Yeah, no, it's a hilarious film. I would say definitely Will Ferrell is certainly up there. Like for a definitive favorite one, that's a hard question to answer. But,
well, let me try and make the question a little easier. And Karen's just putting in a suggestion in the comments. So maybe it'd be an American movie star that you'd like to be marooned on that desert island with.
That's not.
Well, that's another question, totally. I was gonna answer now for the first question,
Okay.
which is like one of my favorites. Is Natalie Portman.
Oh yes, she's fantastic, isn't she?
I think she's a great actress.
Well, Rush RH says Nicolas Cage, surely. Yeah, Nicolas Cage is a
there. Yeah, that's a very good option. Very good.
Yeah, no, he is good, isn't he? I've recently been binging The Office US, and I just love Steve Carell. He's not quite the movie star, although he has been in a lot of movies, but in The Office. But yeah, he's really one of a kind. Excellent. So I think we'll probably start wrapping up the Q&A. And it has been an absolute pleasure for me to kind of ask both of you these questions, make sure that our audience get to know both of you better, both as CEO and artistic director, but also just as two human beings kind of quarantined in Norway and Amsterdam, respectively. But yeah, so if there are any kind of final things that you might want to tell our viewers, anything opera related, maybe not.
Well, just keep on sending us questions, and we'll be more than happy to answer, I think.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And if you I should have mentioned that if you do have any questions and you didn't kind of have time to put them in the chats or in the comments, then you can always save it for our next Q&A, which we'll announce shortly, I'm sure. And because we intend to do this Q&A series a lot more often now. So yeah, watch this space.
What I will also mention is that there will be Q&A, and then there'll also be kind of opera pub quiz hosted by the Quarantine Opera as well.
Yes.
So we'll kind of alternate between these two ideas, in which we'll we'll invite more people from our team, but also we'll invite guest artists who have featured in our previous performances. So do stay tuned for all of that. Yeah.
Make sure that you follow us and really get all the latest news, because I know that sometimes these things slip away unknown in Facebook land. So always make sure that you follow everything. You can go into our page, and I think that you can you can click so that you get notified for any activity that is. So I really recommend that you do that so you don't miss anything that happens. And we look forward to the future projects and to get to know even more musicians out there. And and we want to get to know our audience as well. So you're all always welcome to write to us, and we will try to answer. And thank you so much. I just want to also say that towards the end. Thank you so much, everyone, for your lovely support. For all the musicians that have submitted, that have put their hearts and souls into this, and sent us their amazing video clip takes that we have been able to create these productions. Thank you so much, and thank you everyone who believes in this and who appreciates it, and for everyone who supports us in any other way. You can always support us by liking us, by sharing our page or our events, and everything. Everything helps so much. So we just say thank you for that.
Well, thank you, Fergus, and thank you, Marika. Thank you very much for taking the time to speak to me and kind of broadcast this to our audience. So I should just probably build on that. So we have our YouTube page. If you haven't already discovered, please go and have a look. Just type in Quarantine Opera. Please do like and subscribe to our channel, and definitely click on the notification bell. We also have our Instagram site, which we mentioned earlier, and you can kind of watch some bite-sized stories of kind of Fergus doing some interesting things with his bassoon there. And
you don't want to know.
No, you really. But actually, no, you do. Just you can't tell them they can't, otherwise they won't come to the page.
Yeah, that's the point.
I am great.
Yeah, well, yeah, you can watch some behind the scenes action there, which is really interesting, and get to know the team much better. We also obviously have our Facebook page, which you're watching this on. But if you haven't kind of started following or liked our page, please do. And we also have our website. Could you remind me what the website is?
It is quarantine-opera.com.
Fantastic, yeah. So please do check that out, and just get in touch with us. Please send over your comments, any questions which you may have, and we'd love to hear from you. I think that's everything for this session. I'd just like to say, thank you to everyone who's been watching. Thank you to Fergus and thank you to Marika, both of you.
And thank you, Vivek.
Thank you, Vivek.
Oh well, what can I say? It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you to Teo as well, who's been kind of the unsung hero of this, just kind of behind the scenes working his magic. And all I'd like to say is kind of thank you, stay safe, and I guess until the next time.
And also, stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
See you guys.
Stay tuned, guys.
Bye.
It was very fun to see you all. Thank you for your questions. Have a nice evening. You have an evening, of course. Someone is the morning in another part of the world.
Happy lunchtime for all of those in America. And, north or south.
Yeah.